Hi, this is Bill Spatrino. Today is March 28th, 2019. First of all, I want to say happy birthday yesterday to my brother. I remember when he was born 50 years ago. It was one of my happiest days other than when my daughter was born. I tease my daughter. I said, I helped raise two people, my brother A and you. And neither of you, I taught you both how to save money. Although neither of you are good at using the withdrawal sheets. I said, you're good at deposits. But I'm proud of both of them. And I want to mention that because my family and everybody listens. Obviously, I had a script of things, and then this Jessie Smollett stuff came out, and it's like, okay. I mean, look. And what I'm about to say is probably going to shock some of you because you think that I'm this far right. There's a lot of people that think I'm really far right, and I can be at certain degrees, but I'm not. This is the truth machine, not the far left machine, not the Hannity machine, the truth machine. I don't think this guy should have gone to jail for 30 years for what he did. What I thought would happen, if he would have just said something in the beginning, I could see him getting fined for the police, $1 million and, not doing any time. Because he doubled down on it and got out of hand, to me, if I was the judge, I would give this guy a year or two in prison. I would give him, and maybe spend 6 months in a halfway house or something, okay? But you wouldn't be able to, you wouldn't just get away clean like this. You would pay a fine. I would take his salary this year, which is close to $1 million, and that's what I would fine him for just the police, and the police would get this. I would demand a public apology to the police who busted their rear ends, to all the real victims of crimes, both white, black, red, orange, and most of all, to the gay community and the LGBT community who have real live attacks, and now they're not going to be believed as fast because of this little boy who cried. This guy is the little boy. You know how we use cartoons and characters for people? This is the little boy who cried wolf. And actually, you know what I'm going to call him? The little girl. Because he's a girl to me. Not because he's gay. He's a girl. He's like a little 4-year-old who got caught doing something wrong, and I didn't do anything wrong. I mean, Rahm Emanuel, okay, who's a liberal, okay, is furious. The police, mostly who vote Democratic and who are African-American spokesmen, is furious. David Axelrod, who worked for Obama, one of the most reasonable liberals I've ever had to listen to, thinks that this is a travesty of justice. Okay, and Obama got involved in this, and there's pictures of Kimberly Fox and Kamala Harris along the website. I can't believe it. It's just, I can't believe that this just went on like this. Okay. And to just say there's a $10,000 basically fine. And then the guy does a press conference. And you know what this guy's going to do in a couple years? You mark my word. He's going to sue the police department. Now, I have to tell you, I don't think the police department should have kind of tried the case and kind of said he was guilty. I don't think that really should have been said. But I think they did it because they knew that this thing was going to try to happen. I really think they knew, and they wanted to get in front of it. They know how things go in Cook County. It is the most corrupt place on earth. The amount of politicians that go to, and this is from people, I love Chicago. I want people to understand. I love eating the pizza in the restaurants, and I love the people of Chicago, okay? Some of my subscribers and some of the people I'm closest to belong there. I went to ELO there this summer. with my buddy. I have Spatrino fairs there every year, okay? But darn it. I go to the Cubs. Took my dad to see the Cubs. But this is just, if you live there, you have to be sick to your stomach. The rest of the world is laughing at you. They're laughing. They're laughing at your district attorney who's, it's just, I just hope, I wonder if the FBI people grabbed the letter. I mean, the man, federal charges, that man sent a hate letter in. Okay? I just want everybody to picture this. I'm not going to go into great details. I want everybody to picture this. I want to know two white guys who really grabbed an African American, called them names like he said that happened, and then attacked them. Okay? Do you believe that the district attorneys would have given them a slap on the wrist? Do you believe that? Let's say they would have made up this story, that an African-American Democrat, Bernie supporter, grabbed him, threw him on the ground, and did all this. Went on TV twice and then got caught like this. Do you think they would be let out? Okay, I just want you to think that. If you think that, then I'm not even mad at you. I want to play cards with you. Because you're not a good player. I'm going to end up taking your money. Because anybody with a brain in their head knows what really happened. It's funny because this story stepped on the whole thing with Trump. I don't want to go into great details. I never believed Mueller had any evidence. It was dumb. What I felt was really ironic on Monday was that Avanti, who had been on MSNBC and CNBC 108 times since March 7th, he's been on TV 108 times. This guy's an extortionist. He's a convicted extortionist now. And he's going to be in jail. And, I mean, MSNBC and CBS and CNN, they're not going to say they're sorry. They're not going to say, hey, we put a guy on here and he's a real POS. They're not going to do it. And Garagos is the other guy, and he's not going to do it. He's out there saying today, well, Jessie was innocent. People, Jessie was not innocent. That guy, by saying he's truthful. I mean, I just get back to this. I'm sorry. Look, the people on the left, you have problems. I mean, you really, if you consider yourself a Democrat, and I have Democrats that listen to this, you got to look in the mirror and start saying, look, you people want abortion, but not for your mother. You want higher taxes, but not for you. You want the death penalty, not for murderers, but for newborn babies. Okay, even if they're 9 months old. I mean, Kamala Harris, okay, the hooker, that's her name. Okay, I like to try to come up with a name for her, but she's the hooker. Okay, you know, we had the booker and the hooker. She's the hooker. Hey, Kamala, how am I dictate? Says this nonsense. This is a person who, she doesn't realize that, she doesn't need a wall. The wall's a waste of money. But giving benefits to illegal aliens isn't a waste of money. Can you think of any of the founding fathers that would believe that? Can you think of any civilized, if you believe that, okay, or know someone who does, smack that person. And because what we're doing here is we're fighting a culture war, okay? And people say, Billy, I'm not fighting. No, it's like friends of mine. They used to say to me, Billy, you're one of those guys that cares about money. You're playing the game. Chief, you're playing the game. The difference is you stink. Okay. But come on. There's a culture war going on. And you need to say things to the people you know. I understand at work you can't do it. But I have friends of mine. I was talking to someone today, and they said, well, I have a lot of liberal friends. And I said, well, I understand they're your friends, but that's, at some point, you got to have a talk with them. You just say to them, your liberalism is like, it's like you're almost like you're a pedophile. Okay. And speaking of pedophiles, Barbara Streisand came out and just said the guy has sexual needs about Michael Jackson. And you know how I give nicknames for everybody? Bette Midler is making comments about the president, saying that he's really guilty, even though for 2.5 years they've chased him and can't find anything. And you know what I nicknamed those two? And again, I have a lot of Jewish friends. I'm not making fun of Jewish people. I'm not making fun of ugly people, although they are ugly. They're both good singers. They are the gruesome. Remember the cartoon with the gruesome twosome? They are the gruesome twosome. And I don't even mean in looks, although they're what we call, in Mayfield, they're three baggers. That's in case the bag over their head, the bag over your head, break. You put the bag over their head, and the bag over your head. In case it breaks, you got to put another bag. Okay. That's how freaking... and they spew their mouths. It's like, just sing. You didn't go to college. You don't know anything. You have turned into people who I just can't, but they are the gruesome twosome. Barbara Streisand made excuses, said, well, the kids knew. They should be honored. Honored to have Michael Jackson play, choo-choo train with them? Come on. Or take him to Kmart, little boy's pants half off? Come on. This is nonsense. It's wrong. It's just wrong. If anyone else did this, but yet Michael Flynn says something wrong in perjury, and they're ready to put him in jail. Look, man, you just have to understand this. This is the truth machine. And that fake Indian, okay, Lizzie the fake Indian, she's out there talking about, this is the thing that gets me. She's out there talking about reparations for slaves. Same thing with Kamala Harris, all these rich people, Bernie Sanders, socialism. Bernie, you know what? Do you believe in socialism? Yeah. How many houses do you have? 3. What are they total? A couple million. Okay, I want you to give those houses away. Give them away. Okay, give them away. Give them to poor people. You know what? You don't have to give them to conservatives. Give them to the people that support you and send you $10. They don't got nothing. Let them all live there. Pay their expenses. The hypocrisy here is crazy. If you want to pay reparations to the slaves, then pay. It's like the people that say my taxes should be higher. Okay, there's a block in there. Pay it. See, people say to me all the time, Billy, why don't you like Democrats? I don't like Republicans either. But at least the Democratic Party, the Republican Party, now they're a bunch of wimps. I told them. They're the Republican Party, and a lot of the 20 Republicans, pseudo-Republicans who voted against the Trump veto today, I call them K-O-C-H suckers. Okay. K-O-C-H suckers. Because that's what they do. The Koch brothers run them. But it's better to call it K-O-C-H suckers. That's what the majority of them are. But at least the Republican Party, they want to cut taxes for everybody. They cut them for people on the bottom and on the top. They're not hypocrites. They're spineless. They're tone deaf. They don't care about the American people. But they're not hypocrites. The hypocrite is what bugs me. Okay? It bugs me. It's just wrong. And everybody needs to really understand what's going on around them. So we're not going to talk about, we're going to talk briefly about the stocks, but we're going to talk about the basketball. As far as the stocks go, Apple came out with services the other day. What they're doing is they're coming out with a credit card, which will help them with Apple Pay. They are coming out with a video service for a gaming service. They're coming out with a television service, and they're coming out with a news service. Okay. Why, in God's name, anybody thinks that's negative for the company is beyond me. Now, I could see them buying one of the gaming companies, okay? Like Electronic Arts or somebody to help with their gaming thing, but I don't know. I don't think so. I could see them actually buying Qualcomm. They're in a dispute with them. Folks, just own your Apple stock. The one thing Kramer and I agree on, although he didn't say to buy it when I did, is he said, own Apple, don't trade it. Just continue to own your Apple stock, okay? As far as the NCAA basketball tournament goes, I wanted to give some predictions to some of the games that are coming up, the Sweet 16. Virginia Tech is playing Duke. They're getting 7 points. Their last time they played, that Zion Williamson didn't play, but neither did their point guard. And their point guard's finally getting back in shape, okay? I like Virginia Tech +7. Do I think Duke's going to win? They could. They probably will. But I think Virginia Tech is what we call a live underdog. In the Michigan State LSU game, Michigan State is giving 6 points. LSU played Yale and Maryland. Not the greatest teams. The reason I like Michigan State in the game, I think they have a much better coach, but they played 5 games in 9 days after the Big Ten tournament, and they played tough teams. Like LSU got knocked out early. They've been fresh. But I just think that these guys, the 4 days off they have and the superior coaching, I think that Michigan State wins by more than the 6 points. I do like Florida State. They got a pair of 6'4" and 6'5" guards. And as much as I think that they're not going to win the game straight up, I think that with the 7.5 point underdog, everybody thinks Gonzaga, it's a revenge game and Gonzaga's going to blow them out. But I just don't. I think the points are worth the points. I think they're well worth it. I think that Oregon, even though they don't have the ranking the other teams have, I think they're a live underdog plus the 8.5 points. And I do think that the Auburn-North Carolina game, I like Auburn as a dog, but I really like the other 4 games, Oregon, Florida State, Michigan State, and Virginia Tech more. So, from behind the wheel of the truth machine, this is Bill Spatrino asking you to sit back and enjoy the ride.